Emotions that are never given a voice do not simply vanish. They are buried while still breathing and resurface eventually in far more destructive and disfigured forms. Before you sit down to diagnose yourself with depression or a broken sense of self-worth, first take a careful look at the people surrounding you. If only the young possessed the wisdom and the old still had the strength to act on it. The majority of people harbor no genuine desire for freedom, because freedom arrives hand in hand with responsibility, and responsibility is precisely what terrifies the most. There will come a day when you look back, and the years that nearly broke you will reveal themselves as the most luminous and formative of your entire life. Words carry a force that borders on the magical. With the same ease, they can deliver the highest peak of human joy or plunge a person into their deepest abyss. The death of a father is the most seismic event in a man's inner life, a rupture so profound and so raw that nothing else quite measures up to the weight of it. At no other moment are we more completely exposed and defenseless to the possibility of being hurt than when we have allowed ourselves to love. The very cracks and fractures in your character that make you feel most exposed are the precise sites from which your truest strength will eventually emerge. The only comparison worth making is between who you are today and who you were yesterday. The only person you are obligated to surpass is the version of yourself that existed before this moment. Watch how fearless and expansive a person becomes the instant they feel completely and unconditionally loved. Every thought is simply an action that has not yet found the courage to leave the rehearsal room. For the small decisions of daily life, consult your reason. But for the decisions that will shape your entire existence, listen only to your heart. The true measure of a person's depth and character is determined by the scale of the problem that has the power to push them entirely beyond their limits. The very first signal of a diminished mind is the total and untroubled absence of shame. We do not choose the people who enter our lives by accident. We encounter only those whose presence our subconscious had already been quietly anticipating. Friendship is the refined art of maintaining just enough distance, while love is the fearless art of dissolving it entirely. Listen carefully to what a person talks about most obsessively. The sexually deprived speak of sex, the hungry speak of food, the financially desperate speak of money, and those drowning in excess speak endlessly of morality. We enter this world in solitude and depart from it in the very same condition. Everything in between is our attempt to fill that gap. The practice of being completely and ruthlessly honest with yourself is one of the most demanding and most rewarding disciplines a person can undertake. Strip everything away, and what remains at the core of a meaningful human life is simply this: love and work, work and love. Without love, the human organism does not merely suffer emotionally, it begins to break down, to wither, and to fall genuinely ill. True maturity is not measured by age or achievement. It is measured by the capacity to delay what you want now in service of what you need later. Every family, quietly, organizes its entire structure, its rhythms, and its unspoken rules around the member who carries the deepest wounds. History is not a progression. It is simply a continuous relay race in which new generations inherit old errors and run with them as if they were their own invention. There is no inherent shame in self-pleasure. The only shame lies in doing it without full presence, without honesty, and without doing it properly. Every person who draws breath has an outstanding debt to nature, and nature, without exception, collects in full. When life refuses to give you what you desire, the only path that does not lead to ruin is to redirect your desire toward what life has already placed in your hands. Experience is a patient and unsentimental teacher, And the first lesson it imparts is this: the world was never designed to coddle you.